Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. I just want to take a second to share this real quick. Okay, thank you all to everybody who showed up. Give me a second. Um, I stayed up a little extra late today. I'm usually a night person, but what I want to do is I want to figure out this Rubik's Cube on camera. And I got some royalty free jazz music here, so nobody loses it or YouTube doesn't lose it. But for anybody who's interested, just follow along, and I'm going to figure this cube out to the best of my ability on camera. So just follow along with me and, enjoy the music for a while because it may take a while. But I might talk here and there throughout this process, and as you guys can see, it's not figured out yet. It's completely, you know, in its unfigured out stage. So I'm just gonna figure it out, you know. So how this actually initiated was, if you want to know the truth about the entire situation, it's probably started years ago back in Arizona. I went to a carnival with my sister or a little. There's like mini golf and stuff there. And I ended up getting a Rubik's Cube. And I tried to solve this cube in the car for so long. And I was so upset back then. I could not figure it out. But now that I have a lot more information, I'm going to try this again. So let's see here. And there's different steps involved. You guys can find the videos online. I'm going to share this one guy's video because he's been really helpful in learning how to master these. At first, I thought it required being some type of master genius or something like that, which, of course, it takes a little bit of intuition and practice, time and practice, just like with all things. But the thing about these cubes is that it doesn't necessarily require one to be a genius. It just requires one to be patient and learn the steps and whatnot. And then eventually you'll have it. But it's basically, when I see Hollywood showing people pick these things up and just start working on them. I mean, of course, Hollywood, you know, they're going to do what they do. But outside of Hollywood, it's actually just a bunch of mechanical steps and algorithms. And so, as you can see, the bottom half is almost uh, already done. So just bear with me for a second. I've got one more square to do, and there we go. And so now what I'm going to do is you'll notice there's a bottom row, greens, oranges, but each of the bottom row has this two right here. And so I'm just going to continue on and continue finishing this. But it's very invigorating. When I first started trying to solve this thing, it took me like 2 or 3 hours to even grasp the concept of any of the movements and whatnot. And so, it takes time to get used to. There may there may be times where a person really struggles at first, but after a while you really get the hang of it. I like to think of it as muscle memory. Once you get the muscle memory down, you get used to it. Just like anything. The jazz music is very comforting as well, I must say. All right, now you can see I have the bottom figured out and the bottom two rows. So now what I'm going to do, now what I would initially do is try to create a cross from this yellow dot. But I actually get to skip two steps because I have the horizon or the horizontal one so far. And so now from here, yes, I think so. Okay, let's see here. Now I've got the cross, as you can see. So I've got the bottom two rows and I got the cross. So now what I'm going to want to do is, hey, what's up, family? So now what I'm going to want to do is I want to make sure that each of them are lined up in the respective, and since they already are, I get to skip a step. So now from this point on, let's go on and continue forward. Thank you, family. So this is the point where I believe I made a mistake and may have to start over, but you see the progress that I've gotten so far. But I may not have to start over. I may just have to, let's see here, I've got everything in position still. Green, yellow, blue. I may be able to fix this. Give me a second. Uh, okay, there we go. All right. Yep, gotta start over. So give me a second. Shout out Mahomes. Haha. But that's the point where essentially I gotta start over. I messed up a little step, and it's just basically practice. You know, you basically get the hang of it, and once you get more of the hang of it, you can basically finish more and more. I accidentally turned clockwise instead of counterclockwise at one of the steps. So it's just a part of learning and growing, and let's start on over again. Let's see here. Flip those around. Do, 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 do. All right, as you see, I got the bottom again, and then I've got the bottom row again. So I'm gonna start from there again. Doo, doo, doo. All right, bottom two colors again. Alrighty, now we got the L's. So we'll do the clockwises. Oh, son of a biatch. Ah. I basically got it, but missed one color. No, I mixed the steps. That's all I'm doing. But you basically saw I just had it, but I missed the color. So let me break it down. Try one more time. Besides, I can't solve it too fast because then it make for an extremely boring live. Yeah, almost close, but no cigar, as they say oftentimes. I just missed a step is all, but it can be easily corrected. Alrighty. shit. Okay, give me 1 second. I am seriously missing a step for some reason, and I'm about to look up how to do it because for some reason I just had it, and then in my mind it started to slip for me. So let me just look up something real quick. Okay, because after you get to the cross, hey, what's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Yeah, this is one of those tinier, cheaper cubes. Just give me a second, real quick, and I'll have this in no time. Okay, I thought so. Um, just some technical issues. I'm not sure why it's not. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. It sure is a beautiful day here too. It's supposed to be, I think, like 70 degrees or something like that today. Really nice day today. La 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 la. Alrighty. Dracula, get down from my TV. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, sorry about that. Let me bring the music back. La 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 la. Mhm. I can't stop loving you. bottom rows, bottom. Time to get the cross on the top. Okay. Goodness, I done messed up this part so many times. Hold on. You're welcome. I'm just doing a live video, figuring out this cube real quick.
Okay. Well, until I get back, I'm gonna go drop Haley's clothes off and we're gonna go drive around. Can you just leave mine on top of yours for now?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Alright, no more distractions. Okay, bottom rows again. Yeah, these things are terribly there. It's memorizing the algorithms. This stuff could be hard. So now I've got this thing. So now I'm actually about to look at the steps again now because I ain't missing this. Okay, so There we go. I got the bar. Now I got the bar. Okay, there go the cross. Uh, now that I got the cross, or whatever, now I have to line these up. Okay, so now here's the. Okay, boom, there we go. I ain't even looked up the information yet. I ain't even really looked at the video. Okay, so now that they all lined up, I have to line them with one. Okay, all three of these are lined up. So now I have to do the clockwise, up, counterclockwise, down, down. The good thing about, okay, there's one. Okay, clockwise, up, counterclockwise, up, counterclockwise, down. Bow, perfect. Okay, they're all in their respective corners. Now I have to do the algorithm to get these two on top to finish. Okay, I have one more square and the cube is solved, I think. So normally it would be solved. Oh, they play with me. I'm finna do it. I'm finna do it again real quick because I'm right there. I've solved it the first time and one square was off, and now this time I got it again, but I messed up a couple of spots. So we finna do this again real quick. I'm finna get this thing. Watch. I'm telling you, I got this. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Damn, I already got the cross again. Holy shit. Okay. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm. Oh, my goodness. Oh yeah, that's what I want to tell you guys. When you see people just picking these up and solving these, it's a whole algorithm. There's steps and stuff. It's not just like I'm a genius, I can solve puzzles. It's like Hollywood. I was talking about this in a video. Hollywood like sends people off a lot of times with things that are real versus what they like fantasize about. But yeah, it's like basically a puzzle, and you just follow the different steps. And the only problem is I had the steps, and then as soon as I started this video, it's like, oh, hold on. Back to my jazz music. I'm sorry. Answering messages and watching stuff. Uh, want you guys to know I'm not ignoring you. I'm just knocking this beast out the park. There you go. Solved. This is on camera live. I was doing this with music playing. Nobody solved. 50 minutes later. I've only known how to rotate this for 3 days. When I was going to Indiana and Chicago, I learned how to rotate this. They told me a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that I was going to be involuntaried and crazy. And 3 years before that, the Jewish community told me I was ham and going to be reprobate in the wilderness. Does this look like reprobate? Does this look like reprobate? I didn't listen to none of the Christians, none of the Muslims, none of, it don't matter who, atheists, anybody. I survived, and I figured out how to complete a Rubik's Cube in 3 days. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. None of that. People talk too much, and they label everybody. And so that's why I'm here to help you guys understand. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what creed you are. I don't care what you are. You have the intellect, and it just takes time and patience. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want the video to be like 10 minutes, so I kind of sometimes would be like, "Ugh." But it's simple. Um, it's not simple. It takes time, but it just simply takes some time. So I haven't been live in a long time, man. I just wanted to get on here and do this real quick and play some jazz and enjoy some time before work. Thank you, family. We're all perfect though. Shit. I was telling a coworker at work today. They was like, I'm so tired. They was talking about basically like the other shifts. They kind of slack off sometimes. And they was like, then they brought up my mom, and they were like, "Your mom is such a good worker. She's perfect. I wish everybody was like her." And I was like, "Shit, if everybody was like her, she wouldn't be perfect. She'd be average." So, we it's a spectrum. We gotta have our different everythings. But yeah, got her done. Can't nobody say it ain't possible. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This isn't so much like, oh, I'm like smart. It's remembering. So if you got good memory, you just remember the algorithms, and that's all I did. I memorized the algorithms. The bottom is the yellow daisy, and then the top is the all white squares. Then after that, you get all the bottom two rows and blah blah blah. And it's just remembering steps. It's like in a surgery, right? When a surgeon goes in, he memorizes all those veins. That's why I try to tell people, like, a lot of times when you see people that are book smart, that's just memory. They sit there and they memorize it and they force themselves to. Just like when I study, I plan on going to Caspin and getting my nursing license soon and becoming a licensed practical nurse. But there was a lot of life in between that avoided me from going to get my LPN as soon as I got my CNA, which is Certified Nursing Assistant. Well, basic life stuff. But you see all these doctors going to becoming doctors and lawyers late in life. Like Samuel Jackson didn't become an actor, I think, until like his 50s or something like that. But the point is, it's never too late. Sometimes you have to do that stuff in between to get the wisdom and the patience and understanding, because I would not have been doing this at 18, 19, I don't think. I wouldn't have had the patience. I would have been wanting to move around a lot and do stuff. Now that I'm 36, I don't like to move around so much, and so I have the patience and time to do stuff like this. And so, for anybody who's just joining in, if you want to rewind, it took me about 48 minutes to do this, but I basically got it solved on camera, on live, so nobody could lie and say, "Oh, JB never solved those. He bought two of them," and blah blah blah. What I want to do is get like a whole bunch of them and just solve them. That way, when I mess up on one, I just go to the next one and you know what I mean? Because starting all the way over sucks, but it's a deterrent of messing up. And the thing about at first, when you pick this up and start spinning it, it's like, what am I doing? But over time, you'll notice I messed up in certain places and I fixed it. I wouldn't have been able to do that at the beginning when I first started. And as I get better, I'll be able to twist the dimensions and learn how to manipulate this better. Um, it reminds me of this clue on RuneScape. You used to get something called an extremely rare clue. And it had one side of these, you move the puzzles around. But this is basically, what this reminds me of is a long assembly line. That's what this is. And the reason there are steps is because the yellow daisy at the bottom, you're putting them into pieces one at a time at the beginning. That's why at each step, when you're twisting, you're just putting one piece at a time into a long assembly line until that long assembly line assembles into each square. I'm telling you it is. It's more mechanical than it is intellectual. But I'm not taking away from intellect, because I've seen those little kids that go and it's solved in like 15, 20 seconds. That's crazy. But that's why I keep saying greater things you all do. I'm just an average person that knows some things. You all have great abilities. I see people slam dunking between their legs doing 360s. That's more physical, but that's also spiritual and mental, because it takes time to get to that point. You think you're just going to wake up and do a 360 dunk, you're sadly mistaken. There's some chess players, Magnus Carlsen and the other guy, the Hakari. But I'm more like Hakaru, that Hakaru guy in chess, because the Magnus guys, oh, he is childish. I've seen him slam tables and not congratulate people. I was like, damn, homie. But I can't fault him, because I'm kind of the same way. I'll flip a game of checkers if I get mad enough. I won't flip a game of chess. But checkers is more simple to me. It's like, oh, screw this game. And if you give me a draw for an Uno, I might get kind of pissed off. But that's just games and stuff, man. But so I did what I need to do. I'm glad you all were able to come in and witness it and see it. And thank you all for being here. And intellect is for everybody. If you think you're dumb, go look at some of the animals and some of the stuff they do, and they don't have a fraction of your intelligence. I don't care how dumb you think you are. Just got to get in tune with it and cut the world out, so to speak. So stay blessed. Have a good day. And I need to get some sleep. Yep, exactly. Everything, if you really think about it, everything can be thought of as an algorithm. Algorithm. That's why I like hippies and I like scientists because they're both on different sides of the spectrum and they both show me different things, so to speak. I might learn something spiritual and some wisdom from an older man with a beard smoking a blunt, and I might learn something very technical from a man who is an engineer. But at the same time, I might learn something technical from the hippie, and I might learn something spiritual from the engineer. Live life and enjoy it. Shout out Dan and John and everybody else, and that Muhammad. Who's the guy earlier who wanted to shout out? Muhammad's, I think. So stay blessed, y'all.